Antonio Sabato Jr. had some family members that were murdered in Auschwitz and others who escaped socialism and came to America for freedom. They taught him never to back down from his beliefs, even though being a conservative in Hollywood is sometimes career suicide. I want you to welcome the author of this book, Sabato, The Untold Story, Antonio Sabato Jr. Antonio, welcome. It's good to have you here.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you have your fan club with you tonight.
These are great people. You guys are awesome. Thank you. It's so good to be here in Nashville and in your presence.
Well,
and,
thank you.
God is good every day, man, isn't he?
You know what? I'm so impressed. You've had an illustrious career. You've done everything from modeling to acting, all sorts of stuff. You know, and here's something a lot of people may not know. People mistake you for me all the time.
All the time.
I mean, you know, it's just, they can't help it.
And you see, I even followed you. I went to
Who
politics,
said that
right?
was a punchline anyway? No, I don't think that ever is going to happen. On a serious note, though, your family has really a history of some tough moments.
My family knows about socialism. You know, my mother was born in Prague. My grandmother, you know, was the only survivor in World War II. Her brother and her parents, my great-grandparents, were taken to Auschwitz and killed there. My grandmother was able to change her name and escape and run away as a child and live in Prague and raise herself as a child around the Nazis' party. And then the Communist Party came over and took over and invaded the Czech Republic, so they had to deal with that. And eventually my grandmother, many years later, you'll find it in the book, that's why people should really read this thing, is that she was killed by the Communist Party in her apartment while my mother was getting ready to be married to my father back in the 60s. So I know about socialism, my family knows it as well, and we don't want it in this country no matter what.
One of the things that I guess I'm most impressed with is that you knew full well if you took a stand for the conservative values, for the pro-American values that you had, that it was probably going to hurt your career in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And you talk about in your book that you knew that full well, you did it anyway.
I did it anyway because I put Jesus first, and I sleep good at night. I know what he stands for me. Thank you. Thank him. I've seen death. I've been through, you read it in the book, I've been through hell and back, and I know that God was always there for me, and Jesus has helped me. I have a really close relationship with Christ, and I think what people need to have is more relationship with Christ on a daily basis, but I have it, and I'm very proud of that. And when I saw this new wave of Hollywood coming in and deciding what to say, what not to say, you can do this, but you cannot do that, I felt bullied by my peers and by people that I was surrounded with. And there's one thing about me and my family, we don't get bullied. We fight back. We're proud Americans. We love this country. And if you try to change the Constitution or anything related to that flag, that beautiful flag that we have, or God or anything, I'm going to fight back and I'm going to stand my ground because God is first in my book.
That's something we don't hear very much from people who have come from Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I appreciate, the candor of your book, it's not a fairy tale. You had some rough spots in your life and some things to deal with.
Sure.
Your faith now is really that thread that kind of goes through, that pulled you back and got you back up on your feet when there were some busted chapters in your life.
I fought addiction. I survived that. Like I said, I fought death. I lost everything. We lost our home. We lost, you know, I lost my house in California. I was blacklisted. I had to fight really the good fight, you know, and you find yourself against the wall. And sometimes when you're by yourself, you find that relationship with Christ in a whole different level, because after that happened and I fought these battles and I won them at the end with the help of Christ, now I have a fiance who I adore, my girl, my kids, the relationship I have with them is stronger than ever. My career is building up. I have a book out. I feel good in my skin. I feel great where I'm at. I'm fearless, and I'm willing to fight for our country. I'm willing to fight for our president. You know, I think our president is fighting the fight, and we have to stand with him. We have to stand with people like yourself. And, you know, America is a country that stands on its own. It's one place that is very different than anywhere else in the world, and it helps the world stay stable. Once you destruct that flag, that country, what we stand for, the whole planet will fall, and we can't let that happen. So that's why they want to change, the far left wants to change our future, is because they want to control the American people. But you, the American people, are stronger than them. We're going to win in November.
I'm hoping you are a prophet as well as an actor. Antonio, Hollywood has been a place where people feel totally free to inject very left-wing politics into everything they say.
Yeah.
I can remember when Hollywood produced films that made us love America, that appreciated our military, that appreciated police and firemen.
That's why I'm doing now, Governor. What I'm doing now is starting a new studio, a conservative studio. So I call it the Conflict Studios, and I'm raising money to produce movies that are going to support our cops, our soldiers, our flag, our God. You know, it's important for the future of our nation and the future of our children who are being indoctrinated, who are being thrown in this new world, because the far left is teaching our kids things that are not, they're not positive. They're not going to build them up. They're breaking them down. And I think that we need a place where we can make movies that are good, like you said, loving and patriotic, where we support our country. Because, listen, in the last 200 years, our country has stood for us, right? So now is our time to stand for our country.